What's up, you guys? We're back with another bowl video. This is Beat the Odds on Odds Checker. How are we doing, guys? And are we ready for our picks for the bowl games coming up?
I'm excited, Caitlin. Jason, ready to make some money picking kind of this mid-tier of bowl games. And I actually think there are a couple really exciting games. So might as well make them a twofer. Enjoy watching them and see if we can win a little bit too.
It sounds like a tremendous plan.
We love to win. All right, well, let's get into it. What do you guys have for us this week?
Yeah, thanks, Caitlin. I think I'm going to start with maybe my favorite game of the entire bowl slate, not counting, the playoff games probably, which I will admit will be pretty good this year. San Diego State and UTSA playing in Frisco. I'm at San Diego State plus 2.5 in this game. It has moved to around -1, so I have a good number here, which is, something that has been hit or miss this season with closing line value, as it was last year. It feels like a dead toss-up to me, so I think getting points in either direction sort of is appealing to me. Obviously, at -1 at the point where it's at now, certainly less so than 2.5. But I think UTSA can score. San Diego State is the best defense, though, that they've played all season by a pretty wide and comfortable margin. I think Matt Araiza, the tremendous punter for San Diego State, Caitlin, I know you're from San Diego. You should be a Matt Araiza fan. Is just going to be giving UTSA really long fields to work with for the entirety of this game. Weird Mountain West title game loss for San Diego State, no question, but I tend to think that their defense will hold up pretty well in this game, and so I like them plus 2.5.
I'm on that game as well. Give me the under 50. The under in a San Diego State game always feels like a strong position. They hate offense, both theirs and yours. UTSA, they score a little bit above average offense, I think, and they prefer to run the ball anyway. So, even if things are going their way, they're still bleeding that clock down so that San Diego State can get the ball back and do nothing with it and punt it. And that's how we hit the under 50.
Jason, I understand your rationale, but this bowl season has been all about overs so far. I think overs started 7-1. And there's something.
I hit the one though.
Yeah, you did hit the one. You did the one. Overs have been very much in vogue lately. I think defense has been optional. Florida and UCF are playing this week in the Gasparilla Bowl. I'm going with another over at 55.5 in this game. UCF has just not played much defense in any capacity for this entire season. The offense not particularly good since Dylan Gabriel broke his collarbone early on, and he's now transferring, but they can score a bit. And I think that Florida's defense kind of hung it up for the year a while ago now, like more than a month ago. This has all the hallmarks of a game where you kind of let the offenses do some weird stuff and throw some deep balls and try to have fun. It sounds like Emory Jones is going to play for Florida, even though he has already declared his intention to transfer after the season. It's sort of a send-off game for a QB who's played really hard for them over the last couple of seasons. And given the lack of defensive panache here and the fact that Emory Jones is probably playing, I feel like we're going over.
I stubbornly cling to my unders, regardless of this being bowl season. Historically speaking, the under is very, very slightly more likely than the over, even in bowl season. So let us not be deterred by what we will blindly assume is a fluke start. Miami, Ohio, North Texas, under 54.5. Same rationale. Not a whole lot of pace. North Texas runs the ball a ton, and their games typically go under. So, forge ahead regardless of reality. That is my plan here.
Forging ahead in the face of reality is sort of a motto for this American moment, I would say. So I think you're just doing the thing. I'm going back to overs, even though I've been an under better for most of this year. The same number, even. It's 55.5 again in the Hawaii Bowl. Memphis and Hawaii, two offenses that are not that good, but two defenses that are even worse. It's Christmas Eve. If you're Memphis, you do not go to Hawaii on Christmas Eve to not take some shots down the field. You're not going to the islands to play ball control. It's the ultimate exhibition. You're just trying to have fun. In Memphis, though they do not have the offenses that they had under some of the Justin Fuente, Mike Norvell years, can still score a bit and has still had moments this year of moving the ball. I think Hawaii's defense will facilitate that as sort of in the giving spirit of Christmas. So I like some points in this game.
I will give me one over. Okay. Western Michigan versus Nevada over 56. This is one of the most interesting games of bowl season because the Wolfpack's entire coaching staff, more or less,
And
has
quarterback.
left.
And quarterback.
Yeah, it's a it's really, how much do we attribute to specific people, and how much does their departure weigh? This is one of the big questions of bowl season. The point spread has swung by 14 points, and the total has dropped by 10 points. And obviously those are, very reasonable numbers. I think there's a case they're just a bit too far there. I think the last game of the season, I'm not super worried about the coaching staff impact. The team is the team. Obviously, personnel, that is a factor. I think either way, both these teams love to score, and Nevada goes over all the time. And yeah, this is a just for fun pick. Let's put it that way. But I still believe in these teams hitting this over, even as it tumbles all the way down to it's 56. It's still a lot of points.
Fair enough. Is it pick of the week time?
It is that time. So I'm looking at Wisconsin ASU game and in the Las Vegas Bowl, and it's a battle between a Big Ten and Pac-12 team. Always an interesting game. Wisconsin is a 7-point favorite, and Wisconsin, they've had kind of a tricky schedule started the year. The Badgers, they've covered in 5 of their 8 games, while the Sun Devils have just covered in 2 of their past 6 games. Badgers, painful offense, but an elite defense. So that's what I'm riding with. Wisconsin -7 for my pick of the week.
Badgers, painful offense, but an elite defense. That is a timeless words from you there, Katelyn. Could be applied to any year, but definitely especially true this year. I agree. I like the pick a lot. For me, Army and Mizzou in the Armed Forces Bowl. I am going with Army in this game. -4. I think there is, I listed this as Missouri -4 when I was writing it on my sheet here, what are we doing, Alex? But I think there is no chance that Mizzou can stop the run at all in this game. This is one of the worst defenses in the country, particularly against the run, and they are going to be subjected to a pissed off Army team that just put in a real clunker of a performance against Navy. Big difference between Navy and Mizzou. Navy is built to stop triple option run games. If you talk to the coaching staffs at Army and Navy, they will talk about how that's the toughest team to play offense against because they are preparing against that in practice all year. They're preparing for that specific game. Mizzou is not like that and cannot stop anybody running the football. I do not expect that they will stop Army, so I like Army -4 in this game.
Similar logic here. I'm going with the Service Academy for the pick of the week. Give me Louisville Air Force under 55.5. Louisville games typically go under. They run a lot. They have a pretty slow offense, and then we add in Air Force, which might not pass. So yeah, that's it. That's the rationale.
All right, well, that's all that we have for this bowl game video, and that's all for this week. This was Beat the Odds College Football Edition on Odds Checker. We will catch you guys next week.